Hey everybody, haven't really done this before, YouTube Live, but hey man, first time for everything, right? I think I may have done it once before. Not really sure what I'm doing, but I wanted to come to you today, kind of with a special message. It's about my friend Andres Ocampo, which I have posted some videos here before about him. For those of you who don't know Andres is musician friend of mine from Medellin, Colombia. He's in a band that I have a special relationship with called Los Sucios, the Dirty. And Andres is not only a friend, he's also collaborated on the TV show Raw Travel with some of the sound design and the music. And one of his songs, Armas Silenciosas, the instrumentals, is the theme song to Raw Travel. So I've known Andres for, I don't know, over 10 years. He's just a great guy. Very honest, very low-key, very gentle spirit. And anyway, the reason I'm coming to you guys is because he needs some help. And, thankfully he's physically good to go. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess. I'm supposed to be in Ukraine right now, but had an all-night adventure. And we didn't quite make it, so we're leaving tonight. But getting back to Andres, he needs some help. Basically, Andres, his mother lives here in New York City. And he has visited her a couple of times, and I've hung out with him when he's come. So obviously he has visa, paperwork, things like that. During his time here, he never broke the law, never overstayed his visa. But for some reason, last June the 4th, 2019, he was attempting, to visit her for the third time. And the Customs and Border Protection folks at immigration stopped him, detained him, searched his luggage, and found a pair of work boots, a pair of boots. Now, obviously boots are not illegal, but the supervisor in charge that day, we don't know his name because they won't tell us, assumed that because Andres had work boots in his luggage, that he was coming to the United States to work illegally. From that point forward, things kind of went downhill. Andres is not the best English speaker at all. He's kind of like me in Spanish. It's like he can get by, but you don't want to have a legal proceeding going on in another language. They did supply him with a translator, but they interrogated him for hours. They would not allow him to call his family, who was worried sick about him because he was due here, hours before, or to call me to help mediate the situation. Nothing, no phone calls. That's their policy. And eventually they presented Andres with a choice. They said, look, you can go to jail and your visa will be revoked permanently and you'll never be able to return to the US, which means he would never be able to visit his mother. Or you can go back to Medellin now, we'll revoke your visa on this visit, and then you can reapply and maybe you can come back. So, after many hours, Andres was exhausted. He figured it was better to do the second option. The problem with the second option was it involved signing a piece of paper that said essentially he was coming to the US to seek work illegally. And that's not why Andres was here. He was solely here to visit his mother and friends and other family. And so he ended up signing that false confession, being coerced into that. 30 hours later, he ended up back in Medellin, where he started. And, here we are this many months later. He wants to come visit his mother. So we're trying to help him out. So we've created a website called justiceforandres.com. And there's several ways you can help. The easiest way you can help is by simply signing the petition on there at change.org. Please sign the petition and spread the word and tell your friends to sign it. Because the petition is not just about helping Andres. It's about helping everyone who has been unjustly detained or prevented from entering the country. Other travelers, other visitors. We're not talking about people who want to live here. We're talking about people who are simply visiting. Travelers. That's why it's near and dear to my heart, because I've traveled to 70 some odd countries and no one has ever prevented me from traveling and visiting. As long as I have a valid passport, haven't broken the laws. And that's the case for Andres. So we're wondering why he was detained. We think that if you sign the petition, we'll be able to maybe attract some attention from maybe the ACLU and some other people that might be able to help not only Andres, but other people, because we know that this is a bigger issue than Andres. That day, there were several people being sent back by this supervisor. And that's the second thing we want to accomplish with the petition is we need some information. We need some transparency. And basically, Customs and Border Protection feels like they don't owe us any information. And we're saying, yes, you do. We need to know how you operate. We need to know who the supervisor was in charge. How many people does he send back a day? For what reasons? Is it arbitrary? Because it sounds very arbitrary at this point. So anyway, that's the easiest way you can help. The last way you can help is we are raising some funds, and we've already raised some to get Andres kind of compensated for his airfare. As you can imagine, Colombia is a developing nation. As you can imagine, a punk rock musician doesn't make a lot of money. So Andres, is really out that money, and we're trying to help him recuperate. And if we raise enough money, we want to apply to get him an artist visa so that Andres can not only come visit his mother here, but he can go on tour. He just got off a tour in Europe, several countries in Europe, no problems. It's easy breezy, as you can imagine. I'm very frustrated because he can't come to the U.S., but he can go to Europe. That's insane. So we think if we get him an artist visa, he can do that. He can play and maybe meet some fans and things like that. So go to, please, help us spread the word. Go to justiceforandres.com. This is a long-term strategy, so don't worry if you didn't see this right away. If you see it weeks or months later, we're keeping at it. That's the way we roll. We don't really have the bandwidth to make an immediate impact. It has to kind of slowly build or build fast. However, the bottom line is we can't do it alone. We can only do it with the help of people like you guys. So if you believe that in the freedom to travel, if you believe that people who haven't broken the law, who have their paperwork in order, who have relatives somewhere should have the ability to travel without being harassed and basically detained and then sent back for no reason, then please help us. We appreciate it. JusticeForAndres.com. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I'm a disheveled mess, but hopefully it will be worth it. Thanks a lot.